Hi, it's Bieni. I would like to show you how to make the double crochet cross stitch. I'll start with the slip knot here. You can also call it a crisscross stitch. We're going to use double crochets. We're going to make some chains. I'm going to make 18 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I made 18 chains. You can also call this a crossover stitch too. And now you need an odd number. So I had to add 3 chains for my turnaround chain, and that made it an even number, the 18. But we need an odd number, so we did. It's actually 15 plus 3. That would be 18. Now with a double crochet, you stitch into the 4th stitch. That's what you usually do. Now with this pattern, you stitch into the 5th stitch. I'll tell you why. First of all, we're going to count the 5th stitch. Do you see where the thread is moving around? That's the one you start counting as 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You stitch into the 5th stitch, and I'll tell you why. And you make a double crochet. And if you would like to make a crisscross stitch or a cross stitch, you have to stitch. I'll show you how. The one where I said you don't stitch into the 4th, you stitch into the 5th, you actually stitch into the 4th now, and that'll make the crisscross stitch. And you make your double crochet in it, look. You see? So you actually did stitch into the 4th stitch, just not right away. First into the 5th and then into the 4th. So now we're going to skip one. See where you stitched in before? Remember, this is the first one and that's the second. Then you skip a stitch. That would be this next stitch. You skip it, because that's for the crisscross stitch. You stitch into the next one. There we go. Make a double crochet. And then into the one that you skipped. You see what it looks like? We do the same thing again. Let me get a little bit more light here. We're gonna see where you stitched into this one and then that one. Skip this one, that's for the crisscross stitch, and that for the one that goes across. Do this one to the second one. and then into that one you skipped. Do you see? Stitch right into it. It's actually pretty easy. But of course you have to know what you're doing. It's easy when you know what you're doing, isn't it? And we skip one and go into the next. You can make a scarf, a dishcloth, maybe even a washcloth. Skip one again. And we're almost there, and then I'll show you how to turn around. We're going to finish the row with a double crochet, and it's gonna work out perfectly because we counted the stitches right. Remember, it has to be an odd number, but then we had to do 3 extra chains for the turnaround chain for double crochet, so that made it an even number. See, we stitched into here and then into here, so you need to skip that one and go into the next, because you do that one first and then the one in front of it, you see. I get some more light here. I have my solar lantern here too. I can lay it down. Now we're going to do skip one and go into the next. So that's one more of that crisscross stitch, or crossover stitch, or double crochet cross stitch, however you want to call it, because it's kind of crossed, you know. What it looks like though now. And then we're going to finish it with a double crochet, you see. There's just one chain left for that. And then I'm going to show you how to turn around. Look how nice it looks. Well, of course you chain 3 for your turnaround chain, which counts as a double crochet. Turn your work, and then I'll show you where to stitch into. It's this one right here. See, this is part of the this is like a double, counted as a double crochet. This is your crisscross stitch. You stitch into here. See, you got a hole right here, one there. Stitch into this one. And then you stitch into that one. You see? And that's how you make it. Of course, yarn over, because you're making a double crochet. And into this one. See? Make a double crochet. It's fun to crochet. You can learn all new patterns, make beautiful things, get yourself some yarn that you like. Now, if you make like a dishcloth, you should use 100% cotton or washcloth, I think. We're just going to do this again. And if you would like to see how I go to the end of the row and stitch into the 3rd chain up here, then just keep watching. I put the lantern a little closer. Maybe you can make a dishcloth for someone. I have made many washcloths and some dishcloths, and I usually make them about 30 chains, but you need an odd number. I actually knitted them, and well, I crocheted some, but not where you needed an odd number or anything like that. Remember, you need an odd number. So if you would like to make about 30, just add one more, make 31 stitches or so, then it's about wide enough. Okay, we stitch into here and then into here. And so on and so on. Actually, let me pull some of this yarn here. I'm undoing some of my other work. So I have some extra cotton here and some extra yarn to show you. Okay, now we're coming to the end of the row. We're almost there. We're going to stitch into here. Let me get the light a little closer. And then into the one in front of it, like we have been doing. And then I'll show you. You just stitch into the third one here. See this little loop coming out? Don't stitch into that one. Just go in here like this. Let me try. And hold on just a second. Let me grab it. I always have a bit of a hard time with this. Because it's cotton. It's a little bit more difficult than just acrylic. See, actually I got it right here. You see where we have to stitch through? I just have to try and get it. I should pull it up with my finger. This part is not quite as easy. There we got it. See? Now we got it. And then you just continue. Make 3 chains. And do the same thing over again. Stitch into here. And then make a crisscross stitch across here. Look at that. And just continue like that. Till next time. Love, Bieni. Have fun.